Hello, N4H&H here. I had a request from a viewer to show the difference that a 300 Hertz roofing filter can make under contest conditions. And well, there is a RTTY contest going on, radio teletype. And look, they're just stacked up all over the place down there in the CW portion of the 40-meter band. So I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. The idea here is I just want to separate signals out and show you what the 300 Hertz roofing filter can do to contribute toward that goal. So without further ado, let me get on into the video. And you will, by the way, I just wanted to clarify, you'll hear me sometimes refer to it as CW because it still sounds like fast CW to me, but it's really radio teletype. Here we go. Now, the request, I think, pertained to the FTDX10, which, of course, you've seen in past videos. I did install a 300 Hertz roofing filter into the FTDX10, and it made a tremendous difference for that radio. So how much difference does a 300 Hertz filter make in a contest like this where everybody's piled on top of one another? It does help. But remember this, the thing about the 300 Hertz roofing filter is it's just narrowing the amount of signal you're passing on down the receiver chain. And so when you do get over to the DSP units over in this area here for this radio, you know, they've got less to deal with. So even though I'm going to narrow here, I've got it at 50 Hertz width with the DSP unit. There's equivalent of the filter. Now on this radio, if I go above 300, it will actually change over to the 600 Hertz filter that's in there. See it over here? Watch it when I come down to 300. 350, 300. See all here what you're beginning to hear? It's at even just 500 here digitally. Now, I will turn this off. And now you're hearing pure 600. So let me toggle back and forth between the two. At 600, you hear that low tone coming in? But notice when I switch to the 300, that it starts pushing some of the other signals out of the way. Okay, now I'll go ahead and put in the DSP. Bring it down to 50. Now we've isolated that station. And don't forget, just like in my previous video that posted recently, the CWL, CWU in conjunction with the manual notch. If I toggle that back and forth, I can also change who I'm hearing. Hear the low pitch station? And of course the manual notch can help even more in isolating who I want to hear. Now I'm forcing it over to the 600 Hertz roofing filter, but the digital is still handling it. But listen to that. Did you see it? Did you hear that low pitch? Hear it? So even though the DSP, the width here, is down at 50, the 300 Hertz filter is helping. I mean, look at the band scope. You hear the low pitch one? Switched over to 300, knocked him down. And again, I'm working that manual notch. I'm just watching this indicator here so I can line up. There we go. I've got him now. So I'm dead on the one I want to hear now. Here, there's other competition with him there with the 600 Hertz filter. 300 Hertz filter cleans it up some, and then go to the notch. And don't forget, toggle CWU and CWL to see if that'll help. Okay, let's undo some of this. Of course, I'm running audio peak filter. Okay, there it is with a 600 Hertz filter, no help. I know that was kind of loud. That's a 600 Hertz filter, no help from the DSP whatsoever. Okay, so now we'll go to 300. Hear the lower pitch one going away. Okay, here comes APF. And I've got my APF set up in the menu to super narrow. Let me pan over there so you can see that. It's off on the end. S narrow. There's narrow, medium, wide. I always run mine on super narrow. Now, you guys with the FTDX10 and the FTDX 101 and other radios even from other manufacturers, you may not have an option to go more narrow with APF than that. But this radio has, listen to it. See hear how much more noise it's cutting out? S period narrow on the 5000. Not a lot of radios out there have APF. I know Elecraft does. It's a very good feature. Audio peak filter. Okay, let me jump back out of that menu. So now I'll engage the width at 50. And digital noise reduction at 15. Let me pan over there so you can see that. Okay, so audio peak filter. Digital width at 50. So you see how these work together. The 300 Hertz filter is, think of it this way, it's you know, kind of paving the way for the digital filter to do a better job. Okay, and then DNR at 15, maximum algorithm there. See? And then notch. Listen to the quiet. We had a mess a while ago. Now, again, let me undo all this. Working from the front end forward, so roofing filters are right after your first mixer. So we're going to use it first. Audio peak filter, digital width, digital noise reduction, and manual notch. Okay, so the difference that a 300 Hertz filter can make. Now the FTDX10, just to be fair, it comes with a 500 Hertz filter already. Okay, and it's not bad. Coupled with the DSP in that radio, it does a fabulous job. If you want to put it on steroids, spend it's roughly 180 American dollars for the 300 Hertz filter, which you can put in yourself. I shot a video showing how. It's a few screws, plug it in, put the cover back on, and it will do the same thing you just saw on the 5000. It will clear the path a little bit so that the DSP will be able to do a better job for you. And it's going to really shine in conditions like this with this, contest going on. Okay, I'm on the FTDX10 now, just to give you a comparison. I'm using the 300 Hertz filter, but digital noise reduction's on, but I do not have the digital width narrowed. It's at 300, and APF is not on. There's one. Oh, what a mess. Okay. Filter width down at 50. APF. Well, listen to the difference that APF makes. You hear when I kicked it in? Now let's see what happens if I grab the mouse. So I've got him isolated better with CWL. It's not bad at CWU. Okay, turning off APF, turning off notch. APF, notch. Okay, back to CWL. He's definitely isolated better with CWL. Okay, so now what would happen if I change over to the 500 Hertz roofing filter? Now, the digital is still in, so okay, I'm going to turn off the manual notch, the APF, and the filter width is at 500 now. I do have digital noise reduction on. There's without it. Now, next time he sends, I'm going to switch to the 300 Hertz. See, it's already isolating him. APF. I haven't even turned on digital noise reduction yet. Here we go. And it's at 15. And now manual notch. Okay, I think I've got him centered up better at 080. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to turn off digital width and APF. That APF is phenomenal. Again, I went into the menu of the FTDX10 and let's see, I believe it's under CW setting. Oh, no. Hang on, it's under operation setting. Receive DSP, and I set the APF to narrow. The default is medium. So that's one of the things in my PDF that's downloadable for Patreons. I go through this entire menu system and I show you how I optimize it. And I even sometimes change this contour level. I may go 9 or 8, depending on the situation. And then if I go 9, I may go deeper, more cut. But you can see in the yellow there that the defaults are 15 and 10. Now, I'm not using contour right now. I could use contour on CW as well. But I just wanted you to see, I go into the menu of this radio and also set the APF to narrow. Now, it doesn't have super narrow. But don't worry about that. Let me show you something you can do to make up for the fact that it doesn't have the super narrow option. Okay, APF manual notch. The manual notch filter in this, it's digital. It has such steep skirts. Look at the frequency. I can get within 30 hertz of my side tone, which is 600 hertz, and still hear him. That's how tight the skirts are on that filter. And listen. So the manual notch, in conjunction with a APF, audio peak filter, the 300 hertz roofing filter in this radio puts it in competition with that super narrow APF on the FTDX 5000. So that's the trick to it. If you get that close, the 5000's notch filter is a little bit, the skirts are not as steep. So if I get up there around 570, 580, I will start knocking down I'll choke my side tone. This radio, I usually can go to like right here, 570. And I can hear him. And by the way, if you're curious, down here in the scope, if you set it for 300 milliseconds per division, those are dits and dahs you're seeing there. Remember, these are contest conditions, and I can isolate that one signal. Let's undo all this. And now we're relying solely on the 300 hertz filter. Whoops. 300, 500. And now they don't send. Well, you got enough of that, I believe, to understand. The 5000, the FTDX 10, you know, neck to neck. Like I said, make up for the lack of having that super narrow option by using your manual notch, which has steeper skirts, so you can sneak it up closer to your side tone. And you'll get a similar effect that you get from the FTDX 5000 when you use the super narrow option. And, oh, I see what happened. I got off frequency. Oh, well, my bad. But you got to see what I did was I clicked the mouse in this area and it moved the frequency. See, I was up here around 34, 35. Listen to that mess. So, you know, to try to isolate one, okay, let's try to isolate one of those. Oh, look at that. The 300 hertz filter's already helped. Now, APF, manual notch. I'm going to put DNR in there just to knock down some of the ringing. Now I'm just fine-tuning to get right in there on him. Now, I'll try CWL or U. There he is. So I wasn't dead on him. That's why when I went to CWL, it changed his pitch a little bit. Seems like his is better at CWL anyway. Look at there. There we. Now again, one more time. Undo APF. Undo the manual notch. Undo digital noise reduction. And 500 Hertz roofing filter. You see, the roofing filter not only helps your selectivity, but it also helps knock the noise floor down. It's allowing less noise through as well. See the noise floor drops? Okay, there you have it. That's with the FTDX10. Like I said, both radios pretty well neck and neck. Just remember, if you've got an FTDX10, the 300 Hertz filter, audio peak filter, set it narrow in the menu, and then manual notch, and you can run it up to 560 or 570 if you're using a CW pitch of 600 Hertz, and which is what I use. But, you know, in other words, you want to be roughly 30 Hertz below whatever your side tone is. I usually start out at 80 Hertz and then I sneak it up and just see at what point I start choking the CW signal. All right, there you go. There's the FTDX 5000 MP as well as the FTDX 10. And, well, I hope that someone out there found this helpful. I know I had a request to show the difference the 300 Hertz filter could make in contest conditions, and so there you have it on both radios. So I hope that answered your question. And hey, thanks a lot for watching the video. Thanks to you who support my channel, and especially you Patreon supporters, because without you, I would not be able to do this. So thank you very much. If anyone else would like to support the channel as a Patreon supporter, I'll put the web address here on the screen. It's www.patreon.com/N4HNH. That's patreon.com/N4HNH. And if you would please like the video. Liking the video helps us with YouTube's algorithm. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, click the notification bell and you'll be notified when I upload the next video, which is usually a couple of week average. Okay, thanks a lot for watching the video. I do appreciate it. 73 from N4HNH.